Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dong Shong. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Last Wednesday, with less than 1,000 reported cases in the country of 1.4 billion people, Beijing still not ready to give up zero COVID policy. At least 1 million people in the city of Wuhan, the city where COVID-19 first spread to humans in late 2019, have entered lockdown. Wuhan's Jiangxia district was ordered into lockdown on Wednesday after 3 cases were detected in the area. The lockdown lasted 3 days, according to a government statement. Entertainment venues, including bars, cinemas, and internet cafes, small clinics, and agricultural product marketplace were closed. Restaurant dining and large gatherings, from performances to conferences, were suspended. All places of worship were shut down and religious activities banned, while tutoring institutions and tourist attractions halted operations. All public transport, from buses to subway services, were suspended, and the residents were urged not to leave the district unless absolutely necessary. The government statement said the measures were aimed to further reduce the flow of people, lower the risk of cross-infection, and achieve dynamic zero COVID in the shortest time possible. Wuhan is a transport and industrial hub in central China's Hubei province. After initially playing down the outbreak and silencing health workers who tried to sound alarms in early 2020, it imposed the world's first COVID lockdown to contain the rampaging coronavirus. The lockdown lasted for more than 2 months. The paralyzing lockdown came at a huge personal cost to residents, but eventually the authorities claimed they succeeded in taming the virus. The central government has heralded Wuhan as a success story in its fight against the pandemic. In August 2020, as much of the world grappled with COVID-19, Wuhan made international headlines when it held an electronic music festival in an open-air water park, with thousands of people partying without any masks or social distancing measures in sight. That approach had been mostly effective in curbing China's COVID flare-ups until this year, when the highly transmissible Omicron variant caused the country's largest outbreak since Wuhan. The financial hub of Shanghai was placed under more than 2 months of bruising lockdown, sparking public outcry over widespread food shortages and delayed medical care for emergency patients. Cities and towns around the country have also been subject to varying degrees of restrictions as infections flare, with some border towns undergoing intermittent lockdowns for months on end. The lockdowns have wreaked extensive damage on the Chinese economy, plunging it into the slowest quarterly growth since the start of the pandemic. Many states have stopped offering free COVID-19 tests, and Americans who test positive at home rarely report their cases to the local health department, whereas China continues mass testing in areas where cases pop up. China restricts civil liberties in the name of public health and will likely continue doing so indefinitely, as this pandemic doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. Chinese officials, including the country's leader Xi Jinping, have repeatedly vowed to stick to the zero COVID policy, citing the low vaccination rate among the elderly. In a rare disclosure aimed at boosting China's vaccine, Deputy Head of the National Health Commission (NHC), Zheng Yixing, said that all China's incumbent state and party leaders have been vaccinated against COVID-19 with domestically made shots. Translation: President Xi, Premier Li Keqiang, and other senior leaders have all took the jab. Zheng didn't specify when the officials had been vaccinated or if they received the booster shots. The vaccination status of Xi had not previously been disclosed to the public. It is exceptionally rare for health-related information about Chinese leaders to be made public. It aims, of course, to calm public concerns about the safety of China's own vaccines. The Foreign Ministry had previously refused to comment on President Xi Jinping's vaccination status, in contrast with leaders such as US President Joe Biden and the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who both got vaccinated on cameras in 2020. Xi's statements on vaccines have focused on demands to make them a global public good and advances in science, rather than calls for the broader population at home to take them. Safety of its vaccine is an ongoing concern in China, especially among the elderly. While nearly 90% of China's vaccine-eligible population has been fully vaccinated, only 61% of people over the age of 80 have been fully vaccinated, and only less than 39% have received booster shots. Last week, China's National Health Commission addressed online speculation on the safety of the vaccines, including accusations they cause leukemia and diabetes in children, saying statistics show no evidence of these diseases linked to vaccines. China has so far only approved domestically made vaccines to be used in mainland, including those by Sinopharm and Sinovac, which use inactivated virus instead of the genetically engineered mRNA vaccines. In trial, these vaccines have shown lower efficacy than their mRNA counterparts. However, Beijing dismissed such criticism as a bias-motivated smear. According to the World Health Organization, Sinovac's vaccine CoronaVac was just 51% effective at preventing symptomatic disease against original variant, while Sinopharm was 79%. In comparison, the efficacy of mRNA vaccines developed by Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna were as high as 95%. So, why is the Chinese government reluctant to approve Western mRNA vaccines? Yang Zhonghuang is a senior fellow for global health at the Council on Foreign Relations. Huang said politics appears to be the main consideration at play. China had been a front-runner in the global vaccine race for much of 2020, developing multiple COVID shots using the old-fashioned approach of employing an inactivated whole virus to prompt the body to develop immunity. It has also sent billions of doses abroad, a campaign that provided vital access to vaccines in developing countries, while also serving to help Beijing promote soft power and project international influence. When China developed its own vaccines, they used that to show the technological progress of China. And now, if you switch to a foreign-made vaccine, it's tantamount to admitting that you are not as good as other countries in terms of technological capabilities, Huang said. There is also commercial reason protecting the interest of China's own domestic vaccine industry. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly. Until then, be well.